So it's May 7th. It's 9:47 p.m. We just got back from a breastfeeding class at the hospital. We have a packet around here where we talk about some of the things they talked about in the class. But do you want to share your thoughts and your feelings about it? Maybe tell them a little bit about what the class was about.
It was basically just telling you how breastfeeding is going to look like, what it's going to look like, how it's going to feel, all that jazz. What you're looking for with health conditions or problems or troubles or whatever. I had him come because that way he has knowledge about it too. So if something happens, he could be like, I feel like it's this.
I mean, they did talk about having adequate support systems quite a lot, and they were talking about that. And I just remember in my head, I was like, I guess there are people out there that don't support that.
Mm-mm. But they also talk about the postpartum depression a lot in each of these classes. I feel like that's probably something that is widely dismissed. Even in the last month of my trimester, I'm more emotionally inclined to get upset about certain things. It's a breastfeeding class, so you expect it, but you don't expect it. So they talk about the different types of breasts that women have. I didn't know that there were different types of breasts. They have lots of devices and tools to help women with different types of breasts, which is nice. And they talked about how breastfeeding shouldn't actually hurt. It should be, you should get sore occasionally, but it should not hurt. So when people are talking about how they're breastfeeding and they were hurting so much all the time, so you gotta get that your breasts used to it, blah blah blah. I think it's because they weren't doing it right, because they say that you're supposed to have a full latch compared to a not full latch. There's an actual term, but I can't think of it right now. I don't think I would have known about any of the things that, because I know that there's milk duct clogging situations, and I know you could get infections. Breast pump versus naturally pumping with your hands. Something that did pacifiers and bottles. They say because pacifiers and bottles are easier to suck on, that the babies are deterred away from boobs because they're harder to get milk out of. So they say to avoid the pacifiers and the bottles until the baby has latched for at least, 3 to 5 days, or was it 3 to 5 weeks?
I want to say it was 3 to 5 days.
Okay. I guess his job is going to be, the baby's going to wake up and then I'm going to be like, go get the baby. So he'll go get the baby and then I'll feed the baby and then he'll put the baby back.
Well, Sam makes all these plans. But as soon as rubber meets the road, the plans are all going to fall apart. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I didn't quite understand why they had the dolls. They didn't really do anything with them.
They did. She played with her doll.
Her doll, but not...
She didn't make us play with
But
dolls.
everybody else had dolls. And so I was waiting for, what are we doing with the dolls? I mean... Are all these women going to start pulling out their boobies and trying out the dolls? I didn't know what the heck I was expecting when I walked in here. It was just I just didn't feel... obviously there's a curriculum, there's a book, there's a PowerPoint, but it didn't feel very well organized to some degree.